Hi boys and girls, good morning. Hope you guys had a restful weekend. Welcome back to another day of virtual learning. As some of you might be able to tell, I am not on campus today. I will be, although, having this video for you to watch so that you can make sure you complete your assignments for today. Now, today boys and girls is May 17th. 2021, Monday. We are going to be making sure that we work on a ReadWorks article to sharpen our reading skills and our comprehension skills, and we are also going to be working in IXL focusing on idioms today. Idioms is a section and an area that we have previously learned, so this should not be something that is very complicating, although I will go over it. So what you're going to want to go ahead and do first is make sure that you get onto your general homepage for Microsoft Teams for your ELA class. So as you can see, this is my second period, but for every period you will be having a post that looks something like this. It's instructing you to make sure you watch the video below, which is going to be this video. So thank you for watching it. And of course, as you can already tell, there is not going to be a live today, okay? Now, the assignment that you're going to want to first complete is going to be the ReadWorks article. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to want to go ahead and copy this code. So you just right-click, you copy, and then you're going to click on this link here, and it's going to go ahead and take you to this page right here. Here is where you're going to actually go ahead and paste that code, right? You're going to go ahead and continue, and of course this is only the specific code for my second period. Every single class is going to have a different code in your general homepage, so make sure you do copy and paste that code in order to correctly log into your own account and receive a grade for this assignment. So as you see, I'm going to go ahead and log into mine. Don't forget, boys and girls, your password, if you did not change it, is going to be 1234. If you did change your password, that's perfectly fine, but you are going to make sure that you obviously have that written down somewhere, or you remember it, and you log in with the password that you have. If you did not change your password, then don't worry about it. Your password will be 1234. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have a new assignment called Remote Control Classroom, which is due today. I know here it says May 18th, which is tomorrow, but I really want my students to make sure that they prioritize this assignment and that they complete it today. If you click on that, you're going to go ahead and see that it's going to take you to an area to focus on a little bit of vocabulary before you start reading. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you read this section. It says,
before you start reading,
you're going to want to make sure that you listen to the vocabulary words and that you identify whether you know these words or not. So the very first one is efficient.
Efficient.
You can go ahead and click on that little microphone sign that is going to output that audio for you. Now here you're going to decide, okay, do you know what the word efficient means? Have you heard it before but you don't know what it means? Do you know something about this word and you understand the meaning? Or do you know this word very well? I know that efficient means something or someone that is working really hard to make something very effective and work correctly. So I feel like I do know what the word means and I have an understanding of what the meaning is. So then you go to the next word, project. You want to listen to the word,
project,
and then kind of figure out whether you know what that word means, okay? Then you have the word researcher, same thing. Do you know what a researcher is? Do you know what a researcher does? If you don't, then you're going to want to go ahead and list, no, I'm not too sure. I don't know what the meaning is, right? And this will vary on each student. Everyone's different. Some people have a stronger vocabulary than others. This does not give you a grade per se. It just kind of wants to get a better idea if you know the words or not. So do make sure you fill that out and then you click done. Then it's going to take you to the actual article here, which you are going to read and make sure you do annotations in. I did provide the audio for some classes. Some classes have the audio, so you will see this audio here. Some classes do not have the audio, so if you do not see the audio, it's because I did not provide it for your specific class. The reason why I do that is because I know that some students need a little bit help with reading because maybe their reading skills are not as sharp as other students. So then I have my other students who are really good with reading. You don't need the audio. So that's why I kind of leave it for some classes and I take it out for others because I know which classes need it and which classes don't. Now here, you do understand, or you should know, that this button here makes the text bigger if you want to make it bigger, or it can make it regular size. This button here is going to show you the number of the paragraphs. And then we have, if you are a better learner when it comes to reading, where you have to like focus on a specific area, then you can use this this feature here to kind of highlight and outline what you're reading and focus more on that, okay? Then we also have this feature, which is awesome because it actually separates the text and it also gives you those questions. I do want you to notice you have two sets of questions you're going to be assigned, boys and girls. You have a cause and effect question set, and then you have a comparing and contrasting question set. You do need to make sure that you answer both question sets. Do not only answer the cause and effect. When you finish answering cause and effect, you have to make sure you come to the comparing and contrasting questions here. Okay, so that's what you're going to be focusing on. Please make sure you do give me annotations. I know there's a lot of students who do very well and they write annotations, they give me that, and you always qualify for that 100. But then I have students who don't write any annotations, they don't know how, right? So when you highlight something, you have to click on this little button here where you see the little mouse. Can you see that? The little finger that's doing this and it's like pointing. Okay, you need to click on that. And then here you move your, as you can see, you have to like move your little bar to the side here. So if I click on that, I'm going to kind of scroll my page to the side, and this is where you can type out annotations. Now for my students who do this, that's perfect because you qualify for the 100 when you have annotations. If you're a student who doesn't do annotations, then automatically that drops you down and you don't get the 100 because you didn't do the annotations. So you do need to make sure that you give me at least 3 or 4, maybe even 5 annotations about what this article is speaking on. Now, it's not a very long article. It's only 7 tiny paragraphs, so it should be something that is very simple for you to complete. Okay, so you had the passage, you had that vocabulary at the start where you log in and it shows you the vocabulary. You read the passage, you answer some of the questions, and then you're going to have a vocabulary activity where you have to actually match these words with each other, okay? So first things first, you would look at the word show. Show would either be with efficient, it would either be a synonym for project or a synonym for research. I think the word show would be best with project. On the ball, right? On the ball is a synonym for someone who's like on it, they don't take any breaks, things like that. So I feel like that would be a perfect synonym for the word efficient, because an efficient person is someone who's always on the ball. And then you go on and so forth, right? You read the next one. Scientist. Well, is a scientist a synonym for the word efficient, project, or researcher? Probably scientist would have to be along with researcher, okay? So you want to make sure you match these words with the correct word here. And then, of course, you would move on and there would be a button on the bottom to click submit. So I'm just going to kind of like put these in a specific areas here. Perfect. Okay. So then I click done. After reading, I kind of reevaluate if I understand the words a little more. So I had already evaluated efficient. It was something that I had already known. Project. That was a word that I didn't really, I knew what it was, but I still had not a very good understanding. But now, since I kind of have a better understanding, I can change my initial response at the beginning of the word to now what I feel my understanding is after reading and after learning about that word. Researcher, same thing. I understood what the word researcher was, so done. So then, of course, you're going to make sure that you look at your responses in the questions and that you have complete sentences in your open-ended responses. And if you need to go back to the text, you want to click this little button here, and it'll bring you your text with your annotations, okay? Once you finish that assignment, boys and girls, you're going to want to go ahead and submit it, okay? So, of course, you want to make sure you answer this. You know how I hadn't answered any of the questions, so it's telling me here that I hadn't answered them. So make sure you do answer them. Not only the comparing and contrasting, but the cause and effect as well. You have to make sure you answer all of these 20 questions. Well, let me see. There's 5 questions here in cause and effect, and there's 5 questions here. So that's a total of 10 questions that you need to make sure you answer. Okay? When you submit, you can go ahead and get out of that, right? You're done with that assignment. So then you go back to our general homepage and you see here that you have an IXL assignment, okay? So you're going to want to go ahead and click on the link. So you put open link. And here it's going to take you directly to what you got to work on, but you have to make sure you sign in. So that's the very first thing you're going to want to make sure you do is you sign in with your credentials. And of course, this is going to be section S, number 2, identifying the meanings of idioms. So what you're going to want to do, let's kind of go over what an idiom is. An idiom is just a phrase or an expression, boys and girls. This is usually typically to present some type of figurative or not literal meaning. So when you kind of look at some examples here, we look at we have a bunch of examples here. So when we think about these sayings that people might have, like, for example, this one right here, common idiom, bad apple. We think about a bad apple, we think about maybe an apple that is like rotten, it's not really good. So when there's sayings like, oh yes, that kid is the bad apple of the bunch, that's an idiom for the meaning like that kid is maybe, a troublemaker, maybe a dishonest person, a meaning like that. Let's think about hit the hay. Oh, I'm going to hit the hay. That means like I'm going to go ahead and go to bed, right? Yes, people can say, oh, I'm going to go to bed instead of making it complicating and saying these things that maybe one might not understand. But these are just, common expressions that people use, instead of saying what the literal meaning is, right? Let's see. When it rains, it pours. Meaning like when it's raining, it's, when problems come, they tend to come really bad, maybe come in groups. Another one can be time is money. I'm sure you've heard that one before, and if you haven't, well, you're hearing it today when people say time is money. Meaning like time is very valuable, so we don't want to necessarily waste it, and that comes kind of with money as well. You don't really want to be wasting your money, especially if you don't have money to waste. So when we go to IXL, right, and we look right here, it says, what is the meaning of give the cold shoulder? So when you think about it, you might hear a saying that says, oh yeah, Karen gave me the cold shoulder when I saw her this morning. Kind of meaning like she's ignoring me for some reason. Maybe she's kind of being unfriendly. She wasn't very happy with me at that particular time. So you kind of have to think outside the box for these idioms and these sayings, right? So, would we say to accept an offer now for a later time? Well, if someone's giving me the cold shoulder, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're accepting an offer for a later time. Kind of means like you're trying to ignore someone or kind of like get away from them or be rude in a way. So please make sure you have between an 80 to 100 SMART score. That is the goal. That is going to be how I grade you. Other than that, those are the 2 assignments that you're going to be completing for today, Monday, May 17th. I apologize in advance that I'm not in school or that I'm not going live, but please make sure you get these assignments done, and I will try and be at my computer today. So if you need to message me, please message me if you have questions, concerns, or comments, and I hope that you have a wonderful Monday. I will try and go live for you tomorrow, but if not, I will let you know in a post or in a video. I hope you guys have a great week. We have 2 weeks left of school, and then we are done. We are out for summer break, so let's make sure we end it strong, Tigers, and I will see you guys and speak to you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.